important because I did a post the other day about feeling chosen, and just because you're not someone's choice doesn't mean that you aren't worth being chosen. And I kind of wanted to explain this a little bit for my singles, and when you're feeling like you are unchosen, or you feeling like people are rejecting you, especially when it comes to relationships and love. So definitely I wanted to kind of give you all some encouragement when it comes to this topic, because I know that singles deal with this a lot, and I dealt with it. I still deal with it. So I definitely wanted to give you guys some advice. Hey Akira, how are you? Especially if you've been in your feelings lately, meaning I just posted my In My Feelings challenge video. So after you watch this, go watch that. Just because, I mean, if you're going to be in your feelings, you might as well dance, right? So yeah, I'm going to dive into this topic because I really think that it's so important for singles to know that you are worth being chosen, even though the person that you desire or that you want to date has not chosen you, or someone you have been dating. And so I'm going to break down these two types of rejection anyway when it comes to being chosen. So one, you have two different types of not being chosen, okay? I've experienced more the latter that I'm about to explain, but there are two different types. So most times when you're single and you're dating someone, you are chosen, right? A man has said that he's interested in dating you and he wants to be with you, but that relationship doesn't work out and you are not the chosen one. Does that make sense? So you were chosen to be pursued and to date, and maybe you guys been dating for a year, maybe 6 months, maybe 3 months, but at the end of the day, it did not work out, right? So you were not necessarily the wife. If you are single, you are probably looking to be a wife. If you're a man, you're looking to be a husband probably, and that did not work out in your case. So you have some people who experience that type of rejection, where it's like, I was in a relationship, but it didn't work out. This person was not the one, right? And that can make you feel rejected. It can make you feel as if, like a job interview. It can make you feel as if you just weren't fit for the job, right? And you start wondering, what was I doing? Why was I not good enough? Did I mess anything up? Those type of things. So then you have the latter, the second type of rejection that I'm going to focus on, and that's when you're not chosen at all. Okay, this is more like my lane. All right, it's where no one even asks you to go on a date. All right, like, no, yeah, maybe a temp job, but no one even asks you to pursue a relationship with you. It's like you're walking around like a ghost, like you're invisible, like no one sees you, right? So I kind of dealt with this one where it's almost like, do y'all see me? Ain't I cute? Like, am I invisible? Don't nobody want to ask me on a date? Like, so it's kind of like that, where you feel like no one has even paid any attention to you, especially when you have your eye on someone, especially when there is someone that you like, that you desire, that you want to build a relationship with, and they're not even giving you the time of the day. They're not even giving you attention. They're not even giving you a hello. They don't even really understand that you're even there, right? And so that also can make you feel like you're not chosen. And there's a difference. For me, in this case, it has been people that I've been in friendship with, but they have never seen me like something greater, right? And this is very rare, but it does happen. So those are the two types of ways that you could feel rejection. One, someone actually says, you know what, this isn't working out, you're not the one. And then two, you personally feel rejected because no one has even selected you to even pursue you or to get to know you. And so that is just two different types of ways. But what I'm going to break down for you all today is how to just deal with all of it, right? Because it doesn't matter. It just feels, when someone is not, is my page private? I share, but one person can't see it. This shouldn't be private, but I can see if it is. I don't know how I can change it. But maybe after I can make it public if it is private, but it shouldn't be. So yeah, I'm going to help you deal with both of these as it relates to rejection, because for me, no matter what, it feels like crap. I'm just going to be very honest with you all. It feels like crap when you are not the one that you desire. rejection just doesn't feel good. I'm gonna be very honest with you. But this is for my singles who are mature. So please listen to this, because what I'm gonna tell you to change your perspective, you really have to have a mature mindset to do some of this stuff. So rejection, one, has it's like a sword. All right, it really hits you in the core and the depths of who you are, because no one likes to be rejected. We have been, forget about relationships, some of us have been rejected from even childhood. Maybe our father was not in our life, maybe our mother was not in our life. Maybe we felt like we weren't good enough for our friends growing up or our teachers. People have rejected us in so many different ways. And oftentimes we live in a defense mode, ready for rejection to even come, because we've been so used to having this guard up that when now that we get older and we enter into relationships, we're always on defense mode, or we're ready to, we're ready to already feel defeated, right? And so rejection will make you feel or question yourself. It'll make you question if you are qualified, if you have the qualities that are good enough. And someone dropped in here and said it's like a job. It makes you question yourself, like, am I good enough? Am I sensible enough? Do I make enough money, especially for men? Do I have enough things to offer this woman? Or for ladies, do I not look good enough? Do I not carry myself differently? What sets me apart from that other person? It will make you question yourself constantly until where you don't even have a sense of who you are anymore. And so please know that this is why we got to start dealing with this, because we are not created to live in a question standpoint where we're constantly questioning our value or questioning who we were created to be, because we are looking for acceptance from somebody else. All right. And when someone makes you feel that way, that you're either in a relationship with, or you're making yourself feel that way and you're not in a relationship with them, that's an indicator that you need to deal with rejection, because there's nothing that they can say or do that's going to make you feel any better. All right, because you should not enter into a relationship already feeling rejected, and you should not be in a relationship that makes you feel rejected. All right, so if you are feeling these type of things, this lets you know, this is the indicator that you need to sit down and do some self-reflection, because when you start questioning yourself because of rejection, that means that you need to start building up your confidence, because I'm telling y'all, rejection will lower your confidence real fast. So you got to start getting a fight and start building up your confidence. All right. Rejection causes you to get in your feelings. I mean, get in your feelings so much, like you just start doing stuff that you didn't even know you can do. Okay. So once you got to be mindful of this, because I just did the In My Feelings challenge video, but for real, y'all. Okay. In your feelings, like you start looking at these people's pictures. You start looking at maybe who they're dating. You start crying out of nowhere. Maybe you happy. Next day you sad. Then you send a text. Then you like, I should have not sent that text. Like you be all up in your feelings. All right. And that's not where we should be. Okay. Your soul consists of your mind and your emotions, which equals your behavior. So when rejection alters your mind and makes you start questioning yourself, that's playing with your mind. And then rejection starts playing with your emotions, which is your feelings, right? It starts making you feel some type of way. Well, eventually you start crying, then you start being upset, then you start being angry. So your soul, it consists of all of this. So your mind plus your emotions equals your behavior. So that's why when your mind is telling you all these types of things, your emotions is making you feel whatever it's feeling, your behavior outwardly starts acting different. Whether you are just doing subtle things like following or unfollowing people, or liking or stalking their stuff, or you're sending text messages that you shouldn't send, or you're just maybe going in an uproar about certain things. These are things that happen. And so we have to learn how to govern our soul. All right. We have a soul and we have a spirit, and rejection gets you all jacked up in your soul. Okay. And so please remember that point. All right. The last thing is that rejection causes you to lose focus of the soul. It does. Because when you're so stuck in rejection, you forget that you got to govern this. You let this take over you, failing to realize that you got to take over it. So rejection makes you lose focus of the soul. You become one with your soul. You become one with your feelings. You become one with your rejection. You become one with your depression. You become one with your defeat of who you are, and you let it get the best of you. And so what happens is that's what the devil wants to happen, because if he can get you so deep in your soul, get you so deep in depression, you cannot rise up and be effective for God. All right. So please be aware of the signs of how rejection works, especially if you are single, because you are a vessel that needs to be used within your single season. I said this quote a long time ago. You do not have to wait or wonder or know if you're going to get married to be effective for Christ. And a lot of single people are saying that I got to wait for my husband. I got to wait for my wife before I can start doing what I desire to do or what God called me to do. You don't need to know if you're getting married or not to be effective. But what the devil wants to do is to use rejection so that you can be less effective in your marriage, less effective in your home, less effective in your single life, less effective in your business, less effective in whatever it is, your children's life, anything that's around you. He wants rejection to abuse you that much so that you're not effective. Okay? So rejection causes you to lose focus of the soul. And I'm going to recap really quickly before I go into how to counterattack this. All right? So one, rejection makes you question yourself. And if you guys are getting anything out of this, please comment below and say, yes, or I love it. I am watching your comments and I will answer some questions, but I just felt compelled to share this with you all in this message as I was just around the house thinking about it. All right. So yes, rejection makes you question yourself. Rejection makes you get in your feelings, which your feelings consist of your soul. All right. And then thank you, Aaron, for the comments. And then rejection causes you to lose focus of that soul. All right. So we need to be mindful of our mind and how rejection plays on our mind to make us feel like we're not qualified. We have to be careful of how our feelings are affected because that's a part of our soul, and then our behavior starts acting differently. Okay, so here's how you need to shift your mind on rejection, because my mom taught me this quote a long time ago, and I swear I live by it. Ariel, rejection is preservation. She told me this the first time I lost my pageant, and I was crying because I knew I should have won. Okay. So either way, she said, Ariel, rejection is preservation. And I was like, what you mean? Like, I'm worth being chosen, right? But it preserves you in so many different ways, and not preserve you always from danger. Because sometimes rejection is preservation from things that you can't handle. Sometimes, I was telling my mentee the other day, whose mom has been battling with drugs back and forth, and her life hasn't been the way that it needs to be. And she said, Ariel, I don't see her as my mom. Like, I can't see her as my mom. I can't understand her as my mom. And I'm trying to. And I told her, I said, you felt rejected when you were growing up because your mom was doing other different things. But let me tell you, honey, by being with your grandmother preserved you, because who could you have been if you would have been out in the streets with your mother? That rejection, in a way, preserved your life so that God, even though this girl is 13 years old, has been building her up spiritually by the grandmother that she has had, that she's been raising. And although it hurts to be rejected by your natural mother, it still preserved her for so many different things that she did not even need to see, or things that she did not even need to endure, right? So please look at rejection in that type of way, but also know that rejection is preserving the substance down on the inside of you. Because see, sometimes when we're single and we're getting rejected, it's because God is wanting to build us up so much, because not every person is learning what I'm teaching y'all right now. Not every person is wholesome in a relationship. Y'all looking at relationships and thinking that the team is a winning team, but sometimes that team is losing. Okay? And that team is losing because you got two people who didn't go through their process fully within their single season so that they can be effective within a relationship. And so you got to know that when you're rejected, sometimes that's like God saying, I'm trying to build you up even the more. So when I send your spouse, when I send the mate that I have for you, you don't have all these damaged emotions coming into this relationship, but I can use you for what I desire to use you for. So please know that rejection is almost like putting you in this glass of I'm thinking of like a rose in a glass, kind of like Beauty and the Beast, right? And it's like developing you so that you can be ready when that season actually comes, all right? So rejection is here to build you up spiritually. Build you up spiritually. That's the one thing you need to look at rejection as. Rejection is coming my way so that I can get built up spiritually. And I'll be very honest with you all. If you are a believer, if you are spiritual, it sucks to your flesh to be built up spiritually at the same time with trying to deal with your flesh. and your feelings. I'm be very honest with you. It's not easy. You're getting built up spiritually, but your flesh is like, I don't like the way that this feels. I hate the way that this feels. I don't like being rejected. Why can't this person see me? Because your emotions are telling you that you want this relationship. And so I understand. I was telling my mom the other day, I understand what God is doing to me spiritually, but it sucks from a flesh standpoint. It does not feel good to be rejected. So what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? So please know that your soul has to say yes to your spirit. It's going to be this fight all the time, but rejection is so that you can build yourself up spiritually. And by building yourself up spiritually, you're going to have to start downtrodden the things that are going on within your flesh and your soul. Okay? And so it does not feel good. I'm letting you know that right now, but you're going to have to endure the pain and endure the process so that you can get to your promise. All right? So rejections, know when a rejection comes your way, it's for you to be built up spiritually. Secondly, rejection. Hey, you all, thank you for watching. Like I said, chime below to say, yeah, Ariel, hey, I see you. So I know you guys are interacting with this live. And hopefully you're taking some notes because, yeah, I'm kind of just, teaching y'all a little bit. But second thing, rejection keeps you in restraint. When you change your perspective and you start looking at rejection, know that it keeps you in restraint. By restraint, what does this mean? That means that it keeps you in a place where you are not giving your all to everyone around you, but you are restrained, you are confined, you are in a place where you can now learn how to build yourself up without the outside influence. And so I posted this on our Dunamis Women page the other day, that God doesn't need you in your feelings, He needs you on your face, especially for my ladies. Please listen to this. God does not need you in your feelings, He needs you on your face, which means that you can be in your feelings all day. You can cry all day. You can look at social media all day. You could be all up in your feelings, sending text all day, but that's not going to change the circumstance, and that's not going to change what's going on the inside of you. He doesn't need you in your feelings. He needs you on your face, and He needs you praying. He needs you saying, God, give me strength. God, restore whatever it is that's in my broken places. He needs you to be built up from a spiritual standpoint. And so rejection keeps you in restraint in a way where, how could I explain this? Think about this. The person that you want to spend time with, right? The person that you want to be with, the person that you are liking, if they were to give you what you want, right? They were to spend time with you. What would you do? You would go spend time with them, wouldn't you? You ain't gonna say no. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, I want to go to the movies. Oh yeah, I want to hang out. Oh yeah, I want to go on a date, right? You're gonna be gone because you want to spend time with them. And by spending time with them, when are you spending time with you? When are you spending time with God? When are you spending time developing what you need to develop so that you can be a better mate for them? So by thinking about this as that rejection keeps you in a restraint, sometimes it's not because they just don't like you. Sometimes God is not revealing things off of their eyes for them to see you because He needs you to do something. He needs you to do something more that you're not doing because you're so busy looking at them. So God may blind them just to get you back into perspective. Sometimes it ain't really them. Some men and some people are not able to see you because God has not opened up their eyes yet to see you because you're not ready to even be seen. Doesn't mean that that person isn't your husband. Doesn't mean that person isn't your wife. Doesn't mean that what you're feeling may not be actually real. But right now, God may be wanting you to do something else with you. So He needs rejection to happen so that He can keep you in restraint and focus on what you need to be doing. So please, I know it sounds very tight, but it's right. Especially if you desire a wholesome, prosperous, godly relationship. Now, if you just want someone to have sex with and to screw and to spend time with and to cuddle with and you don't want nothing more about your marriage, then don't even listen to this live. But if you are someone who said that I want a relationship, a marriage that's going to bring glory to my life, to my family's life, to God, then you need to listen to what I'm saying. If you just want to be of this world and just have someone to screw and get married and say we can end in divorce, bye. You don't need to be watching this. But if you are the latter, then you need to be watching this, all right? It, like I said, it doesn't feel good to your flesh, but it builds you up spiritually, all right? Last thing is rejection is used to win souls. The person that you want to spend time with, the person that you want to be in a relationship with, the person that you are desiring is still a soul. And if they are rejecting you because they are so focused on somebody else, you have to know that it's not about you. A relationship is not about you. People always say, okay, pray for your future husband, pray for your future wife. You're not praying for your future husband and future wife, like looking at this person and looking at Sam or Allie and saying, okay, I'm going to pray for her specifically so that when she's with me or when he's with me, that they can be all what I desire. No, you're praying for their soul, even if they're not with you. Because if you love them that much, if you desire to be with them that much, I'm going to backtrack. God puts people in our life that we are attracted to for a reason. If you are single, you are not attracted to just everybody. I'm pretty sure you ain't walking around just liking anybody. So when it's someone that's on your mind that you are attracted to, God laid them on your heart so that you can be able to not text them, not call them, but that you can now have the assignment to pray for them as a soul. Because even if the man that I desire to be with, that I don't want to feel rejected by, the man that I want to see me, at the end of the day, I do not want him to be in a relationship that is going to abuse him, that is going to upset him, that is going to misuse him, that is not going to treasure him. I want him to choose what God wants for him, even if it's not me. Does that make sense? Comment below if this makes sense to you all. I really want to make sure that this makes sense to you all. I want that person to make decisions because of his soul so that he's in the right place, because I don't want any man, I don't want any woman getting in a relationship that is damaging to their soul. So rejection is used so that you can be put in restraint, so that you can be confined, so that you can use your power, that you can use your rejection to be able to win and pray for souls so that everybody can be a reward for Jesus. Does that make sense to you guys? So know that you have to be rejected to win souls. And I thought about this because Jesus was even betrayed before he went on the cross. He wouldn't have not went to the cross if he was not betrayed by his own disciple. And this is so profound. Even my mom teaches this. It just so profound to me that he would not have went to the cross to win souls and to lay down his life for souls if he was not first betrayed. He had to get betrayed by someone that was close to him just so that he can get to the cross. So when they say be like Jesus, all right, you are going to have to experience rejection. I'm pretty sure it didn't feel good to him, but you're going to have to experience rejection so that you can get built up to be able to pray and to be able to use your life for the man or the woman that you're believing God for. All right. And even if that man or woman does not see you, does not choose you, that does not mean you're not worthy of being chosen. Because some people everyone has a free will of choice. Everyone. All right? And so you got to be confident in knowing that just because they don't make that choice, you're still worthy of being chosen. So if you are someone who's saying that I'm really dealing with betrayal and rejection and I need to learn even more of how to implement this stuff, my mom and I are doing a 10-day challenge, Healing for My Soul, on betrayal and rejection. And I want you all to sign up for this challenge if this is something that you really are dealing with, because we're going to have teachings every night on how to deal with this stuff in depth, because I know what I said in the beginning. I said it's for mature individuals. So please know that this does not happen overnight. It's definitely a process on how to get built up to deal with rejection, especially as a single and feeling unchosen, because it doesn't feel good. But I admonish you to sign up for this free challenge and just get access to the teaching so that it can better help you. And I'm going to drop the link, but it's bit.ly/healing challenge. And you go there and we're going to focus on 10 days on rejection and betrayal, because this is such an epidemic that's happening to singles right now because they are not in marriage, because they are not in relationships that are fulfilling or that are prospering. They are dealing with rejection so much and feeling as if they're not worthy of being chosen. And I'm telling y'all, I understand, because I've dealt with it. I deal with it. These thoughts, no matter how powerful I am, these thoughts creep up every single time that I'm dealing with it. And I cannot imagine if I didn't have this spiritual maturity, if I didn't have this development, if I didn't have people around me to guide me and to teach me, where would I be trying to deal with this in the single life? And so much imagery is put in front of us as singles that marriage is the goal, that marriage is the focus. And you're right, marriage does bring glory unto God. That is something that he created. And if you feel like that God called you to be a wife or to be a husband, still believe that. But that is not the ultimate goal, to just go from single to married and you don't do anything in between. Because this is getting worse and worse and worse. And I mentor teens all the time. And I'm telling y'all, they even dealing with this. And they're not even my age. They ain't even got nothing behind it. They don't even know nothing. So please know that just because you're single, you are not unchosen. You are worthy of being chosen. And before you can be chosen by a man or a woman, you are chosen by God. And he wants you to do something within your single season. He wants you to get built up. He wants you to pray for your future husband, for your future wife, so that they can be able to see the things that God called them to do and to be for their life, and that they can live in the will of God. And if it is his will for you to be their spouse, then that will come to pass. But you cannot manipulate in the flesh what only God can move in the spirit. You can't. All right? So get out of your feelings, get out of your flesh, and start getting in the spirit. I love you guys so very much. I hope this live did something for you all. I will drop the link below for the healing challenge. Please share this with someone else who needs to hear this. And I will talk to you all later. And I just needed to share this with you guys. I needed to explain that post a little bit more because people started DMing me about the post. And I just felt like it just needed to be elaborated on. All right. So I love you all. Have a good rest of your Wednesday. And I will talk to you all later. Gonna end it on Instagram, and I'll end you guys here.